Hello and welcome to Gap Stories. We focus on hidden and lost stories and try to fill in the gaps. Although these stories can't be considered accurate history, they are geared towards being as accurate to history as possible. Our goal isn't to rewrite history, but to portray history in a realistic way. Even documentaries have to embellish in order to push the story along. If you don't agree with the historical aspect, that's fine. This is mainly for entertainment purposes. But make no mistake, our goal is to stay as close to history as possible. Hit the like button and thanks for watching.
Reflection by the Nile. Later, Djer stands alone by the river, reflecting on the journey. Razek approaches, his demeanor more relaxed after the recent alliance. Razek clearing his throat.
You know, Djer, for a man who just won a war, you seem awfully pensive.
The Nile flows endlessly, Razek. It reminds me that while we have won this battle, the currents of fate can shift at any moment.
True. But you have shown strength, both on the battlefield and in your willingness to forge an alliance. The people of E17 will remember this.
You speak of the people, but what of my family? My wives, they worry for me. I've been so preoccupied with our enemies that I have neglected them.
The royal harem. The royal harem, lavishly decorated with fragrant oils and rich fabrics. Djer's wives, including his chief wife, Queen Nekhetnaith and Seshemetka, are gathered discussing the recent events.
My heart is heavy with worry for Djer. He puts himself in harm's way time and again. We need to remind him of what is at stake.
But he has done well. The pirates have been defeated, and he seeks peace. Isn't that what we want?
Peace is what we want, but at what cost? He must remember that he has a duty to us, to the throne, and to the future of Kemet.
Djer enters, and the atmosphere shifts. His wives bow to greet him, King Djer smiling warmly.
My beloveds, I come not just as your pharaoh, but as your husband. I have missed you.
Your Highness, you cannot simply march into war and expect us to remain calm. We need your presence, your guidance.
I know, Nekhetnaith. The weight of the throne is heavy, and I believed I was protecting you all by securing our borders. But I see now that I must also nurture the bonds of my family.
A family council. Djer gathers his wives in a private chamber, the atmosphere more intimate. The sunlight filters through the curtains, creating a warm glow. King Djer addressing his wives.
I want to hear your thoughts. How can I better serve you in our kingdom?
Perhaps we can involve ourselves more in the affairs of the state. The people need to see that the royal family stands united.
Yes, we can host gatherings, invite the people, and show them that we are here to listen. It will strengthen their loyalty.
That's wise. A united front will reassure them. What of our children? They are the future of Egypt. They must understand the responsibilities that come with being part of the royal family.
We are glad you're enjoying the show. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button for us ladies. Please?
A future unfolds. The next day, Djer stands on the balcony overlooking the bustling marketplace. He watches as his people go about their daily lives, a renewed sense of purpose in his heart. Nekhetnaith and Herneith join him.
What do you see, my pharaoh?
I see hope, love, and a bright future ahead of us.
Nekhetnaith smiles, her hand resting gently on her abdomen.
And with that future, I have something to share with you, Djer. I am with child.
Djer's eyes widen in joy, and he turns to her, lifting her hands.
This is wonderful news. Our family is growing, and with it, our strength.
Herneith claps her hands in delight, joining in their celebration.
Oh, her joys! This child will be a blessing to our kingdom.
A royal visit. Later that week, Nekhetnaith prepares to visit her Nubian family. She stands in front of a mirror, adjusting her ornate jewelry, her expression a mixture of excitement and nervousness. Nekhitneith talks to herself in the mirror.
Today I will share our news and solidify our family's place in the kingdom.
Djer enters the room, noticing her anxiousness.
You look radiant, my love. Are you ready for the visit?
As ready as I'll ever be. I want to ensure my family understands the importance of this child, not just to us, but to our alliances.
The Nubian royal court. The scene shifts to the Nubian royal court. The scene shifts to the grand hall of the Nubian palace, adorned with rich textiles and golden artifacts. Nekhitneith stands before her royal family, dignitaries seated in a semicircle, their expressions curious. Nekhitneith addressing the court. Nekhitneith stands before her royal family, dignitaries seated in a semicircle, their expressions curious. Nekhitneith addressing the court.
Thank you for welcoming me, esteemed family. I bring news of great significance. I am with child, and this child will unite our families even further. It is not just a blessing for us, but an opportunity for our kingdoms to grow stronger together.
This is splendid news, my daughter. A child, born of both Nubian and Egyptian royalty, will be a powerful symbol of our unity.
A child of such heritage will indeed bring honor to our lineage. You have my full support, Nekhitneith.
With your support, I wish to strengthen our ties. Let us work together to ensure that this child is raised with the wisdom of both cultures.
The dignitaries nod in agreement, and the room bursts into applause. Strengthening alliances. Later that evening, Nekhitneith returns to the palace, her heart full. Djer awaits her in the garden, the moon casting soft light over them. King Djer noticing her glowing expression.
You look radiant. How did it go?
Better than I could have imagined. My family is thrilled, and they are eager to strengthen our alliances. They see the potential in our child.
Djer pulls her close, wrapping his arms around her.
This is fantastic. Your strength and wisdom will shape our future.
Nekhitneith gazes into Djer's eyes, her heart swelling with love.
And with our united families, our child will have the power to bring peace and prosperity to both kingdoms.
A celebration of unity. The next day, an elaborate feast is held in the palace to celebrate the news of Nekhitneith's pregnancy and the strengthening of the ties between Egypt and Nubia. Colorful banners hang and aromatic dishes fill the banquet table. Djer stands at the head of the table, addressing the guests.
Tonight, we celebrate not only the life that is to come, but the unity of our families. Together, we will forge a future filled with hope and strength.
A celebration of love. The sun sets over the Nile, casting a golden hue across the palace. Djer's wives, Nekhitneith and Hernith, prepare for a special evening. The atmosphere is filled with anticipation as fragrant oils burn and the sound of laughter echoes through the corridors. Nekhitneith, now 7 months pregnant, arranges flowers.
Djer has been through so much lately. I hope this evening brings him joy.
He needs it. After the battles and the discussions of war, we deserve a moment of peace. And besides, I have wonderful news to share.
What news? You're teasing me.
I've been feeling different, and I took a moment to speak with Ada. I'm with child.
Nekhitneith gasps in delight.
This is incredible. Djer will be overjoyed. Our family is growing so much.
The two embrace, excitement filling the air. Djer enters the room, his expression shifting as he sees the joyful scene, Djer's return. King Djer smiling as he approaches.
What's all this laughter about? You've both been plotting something, haven't you?
Nekhitneith and Hernith exchange glances, barely containing their smiles.
We were just discussing how much we have to celebrate, my Pharaoh.
And we have the most wonderful news to share with you.
Oh, what is it?
Nekhetnaith takes Hernith's hand and gently pulls her forward.
Hernith is with child, Djer.
Djer's face lights up with joy, and he swiftly moves to embrace Hernith, lifting her off the ground. King Djer laughing.
This is the best news I could have hoped for. A new life. Our legacy continues.
Hernith giggles, and Djer sets her down, turning to Nekhetnaith with a warm smile.
And you, my beloved, you will help guide our children, just as you have guided me. It's so dope to have both of my queens expecting. The gods will be pleased.
An evening of celebration. The three of them move to a beautifully set table in the garden, illuminated by lanterns. Exotic fruits, honeyed pastries, and rich wines are laid out. Hernith pouring wine. The effects of alcohol on pregnancies were not yet known in those days.
Tonight, we celebrate not just the future but our bond as a family.
To love, to life, and to the strength of our family, I love you both.
To us, to our children who will one day rule with wisdom and courage.
They clink their glasses, laughter filling the air as they eat and share stories of their dreams for the future. A moment of reflection. As the celebration continues, Djer leans back, his expression turning contemplative.
I often think of the battles fought, the challenges ahead. But in moments like this, I realize that the real strength lies in our unity.
That's why we are here, Djer. You are never alone in this. We stand with you always.
And together, we can face whatever comes our way. Our children will know that love is their foundation.
You both are my heart. This kingdom is not just my responsibility, it is our family's legacy.
A future unfolds. The next day, Djer stands on the balcony overlooking the bustling marketplace. He watches as his people go about their daily lives, a renewed sense of purpose in his heart. Nekhetnaith and Hernith join him.
What do you see, my Pharaoh?
I see hope, love, and a bright future ahead of us.
And we will ensure that our children grow big, strong and powerful.
Sands of Scarcity, the council chamber. The chamber is dimly lit, filled with the sounds of hushed conversations. King Djer sits at the head of a long table, surrounded by trusted advisors and generals. The tension in the air is palpable. King Djer leaning forward, hands clasped.
We are facing a dire situation. The recent floods have devastated our crops, and our grain reserves are dwindling. If we do not act soon, we risk famine.
My Pharaoh, the situation is indeed dire. Our scouts report that the tribes in the Sinai are hoarding resources. They are aware of our desperation, and they may not share willingly.
We cannot afford to wait for them to decide to help us. We should consider taking action. A show of strength might compel them to share their resources.
The room falls silent as everyone considers the implications of his words. The decision, Djer thinks, playing with his thumbs as he contemplates the advice.
War is a heavy burden, and the lives of our soldiers are precious. But if we do not secure the resources we need, the lives of many more will be lost.
The tribes of Sinai are fierce, but divided. If we strike swiftly, we may be able to take control of their grain stores before they can unite against us.
We must also consider the aftermath. There will be repercussions. If we take their resources by force, we risk creating lasting enmity. We should ensure that any agreement is beneficial for both sides.
Djer stares, looking thoughtfully at his advisors.
You raise a valid point. If we must go to war, we should also prepare for negotiations. We cannot afford to make enemies we can't control.
This story is to be continued. If you like what you see, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Also hit the notification button to be notified when the next episode is dropped. Also share this video with your friends. Why? Because this ish is dope. Tune in for the next episode of Gap Stories.